A prolific Kent thief says the violent sexual and physical abuse he suffered as a child set him on a path of crime. Paul Mcdonagh, who's waived his right to anonymity, has told BBC South East Today he was repeatedly molested at a Scottish care home in the 1980s.
Well, Paul Mcdonagh committed his first crime when he was just 12 years old. He's now been arrested more than 100 times for burglary and theft. Today, the government said courts should consider mitigating circumstances which may indicate an unstable upbringing when deciding punishments for young people. Our special correspondent Colin Campbell has this exclusive investigation.
Thefts, shopliftings, burglaries, loads of crime. All through my life I've committed crimes.
Paul Mcdonagh has spent more than 20 years in prison. He blames his pattern of relentless offending on the treatment he received whilst in care.
I've never been taught different. If somebody had taught me back then, if somebody had helped me back then, instead of abusing me, if they'd have helped me, they could have done better in my life. I could have done a lot better in my life.
Some people may think that this is convenient for you to talk about now, after committing so many crimes.
And I ain't like that. Anybody knows me, I ain't like that. I take full responsibility for what I've done with my crimes.
At the age of 12, Paul was sent to Carrowlaw Remand Home in Ayrshire. It was supposed to be a safe haven for troublesome youngsters. Instead, he says he was subjected to emotional, physical and sexual abuse.
Horrific. Horrific. Torture. And torture is the only way I can explain it.
His older sister says she made an official complaint at the time, but claims it was ignored.
He wasn't a bad child, he was a good child, you know, and he was a very loving, caring little boy. And it's like they've ripped the heart and soul out of him. You know, they've took everything that was good in that little boy and they've destroyed him.
Carrowlaw opened in 1970. It was home to 72 vulnerable children, but it closed in 2006 following a police investigation into sexual abuse. In 2009, Scottish council chiefs revealed 400 allegations of abuse from 159 children spanning 20 years.
Most survivors don't become criminals, but sadly many whose lives, as I say, have been very badly blighted do end up in that life.
2 men were jailed for abusing children at the home in 2006. Paul says both targeted him.
I know they ain't got any better. I know it, but I've put my complaint in. I know I'm in the right, he's the one that's in the wrong. For once in my life, I know I'm right, I know I ain't done no wrong.
Paul says he's a criminal but not a liar. He accepts he's done many bad things, but hopes by confronting his past, he can try to improve his future.
Well, Colin Campbell joins me in the studio. Colin, you've been in contact with Police Scotland, haven't you? And they actually want to talk to Paul about his experiences.
Yeah, they've confirmed that they are keen to talk to Paul Mcdonagh. It seems there is a fresh Scottish police investigation underway into the care home. 2 men were arrested last month and the Scottish authorities must now decide whether or not to prosecute. Paul says that he came forward as he wants his abusers brought to justice. Now, he has, of course, over the years spoken to police on many occasions as a perpetrator of crime, but he now wants to give evidence as a victim. He doesn't just blame the men who hurt him, his abusers, he blames the entire system in Scotland for failing him as a child, and that appears to be backed up, Rob, in an independent inquiry in 2009 into the care home which identified significant failings.